Good morning, class. Good morning, sir. So today we're looking at the last part of measurement. The last lesson of our syllabus as well. Okay. Finally, you say. Right, and then from tomorrow onwards we will carry on with. Let's start with past papers. Okay. Remember, we're looking at multiplying one or more dimension by a factor. This is for exercise 16.3. 16.3. And this is on page 300. Exercise 3 is on page 371. Okay, and we are reading from page 360, 370. Okay. So here we are told multiply by one or more dimensions by a k factor. Consider the right rectangular prism with the dimensions length, breadth, and height. Okay, length, breadth, and height. If we now multiply one of the dimensions by 2, for example, 2l. So we multiply one of the dimensions by 2. Now the volume of this is length times breadth times height. Not so. So if we multiply this by 2, this would simply be 2 length times breadth times height, which is right here. So the volume is going to be 2 length times breadth times height, which is going to be 2. 2 length. So that will simply be 2 length, breadth, and height. But we know the volume of the first piece was length, breadth, and height. Not so. So what do you notice? That and that is the same. Not so. So what do you notice? So that will be double the first volume. Let's call that volume 1. What they call this this volume. And they call this the first volume. Okay. So it's double the volume in the first case. Can you see that before? So what they did was they say, okay, let's see what happens if we double 2 dimensions. So they double the height and they double the base. Can you see that? So then the volume in this, on the second account now is equal to 2, so it's length times breadth times height. So it's length times the breadth is now 2b and the height is 2h. So in other words, they got now 4 LBH. Can you see that? But what is LBH? Original volume. So it's 4 times the original volume. That is when you're doubling 2 lengths. Okay? So if you look at in the third case, they double 3 parts of it now. But also it's just something to note at this point, that this is also a 4 can be written as 2 squared. Okay? Just keep that in mind. If we look at the next one, 3 lengths is double. All 3 lengths is double. So which means to say, the volume on the third account now is equal to length times breadth times height. My length is now 2. Length times 2, breadth times 2, which is simply 8 LBH. But what is LBH? Volume on the original source. Not so. But 8 can be written as 2 cubed. Volume of the original base. Not so. So what if they tripled this? Let's see. If they tripled the first case, let's use the other color. So if it was tripled, okay, then so they tripled that length, that would be 3L now. No? So the volume in the first case should have been 3L times B times H, which is 3 LBH, which is what? 3 times the original volume. Remember, the blue K was now 3, no? We're tripling. In the red, K was 2. Alright, just keep that in mind. Let's look at the next one. What if the length was tripled here? So that would be 3b and 3h. So that's going to be the volume in the second account. It's going to be length times 3b times 3h, which is simply 9 lbh. Not so, which is 3 squared, the original volume. Can you see that, people? And on the last account, let's see here. Okay, this is now the third account. Your length is now 3L, your height is 3H, and your breadth is 3B. So what will this now be? The volume in the third account would be 3L times 3H times 3B, or 3B times 3H, which is simply 27 lbh, which is 3 cubed, which is the volume, the original volume. So what do you notice? When K is 3 here, what do you notice? If all three dimensions is tripled, it's a cube. Can you see that? So it's going to be basically cube there. You see K was 2 here. Not so. So what do you notice here? The K was cubed there. Can you see that? If two lengths, like here, K was 3 again, what do you notice? It's just 3 times volume. And if K is 2, it's double the volume. Can you see that, people? If two parts is enlarged, what is it then? K squared. Okay, so the rule is, if one factor is enlarged, one side is enlarged by a K factor, it's going to be the volume times K. If two sides is enlarged by K factor, it will be K squared. If three sides is enlarged by K factor, it will be K cubed. Okay, that's really simple. Okay, so let's see the note that was made here. We will now investigate the effect of multiplying one or more dimensions of the shape you have studied by a K factor. Okay, so in summary, if a formula contains n factors, then multiplying one factor by K will multiply the formula by K. Multiplying two factors by K, we multiply the formula by K squared. And then multiplying 3 factors by K will then multiply it by K. Okay, that's the note I need you guys to make. And with that, you should be able to answer 16.9. The full lesson, we have covered all the odd numbers of 6.3 can be found in the description box below. Okay, you guys can get started with it now.